Now we have an ethical hacking lab environment where all the machines are privately connected to one another and to our host computer, our desktop computer here, with our host-only adapter VBox NAT 0. Make sure that you've got all of your networking set to that. You can either reboot each of your machines after you do this, so just a machine reset after you start them up, or you can use any of the commands that we just showed, sudo if up and if down, or if down then if up, eth0 for your Metasploitable, and that should work on your Android device as well. Your Windows 10 and Windows 8, we had to right-click, go to Command, then we had to set the netsh winsock reset if we did the command as an administrator. And then on the Linux box, we saw how to do a sudo network service network manager restart. So we've changed all of these to a private network. We're also going to set up a second network that is a public NATed network so that we're going to be able to connect our Kali Linux box out for updates or our Windows machine out to surf the internet. But we'll usually keep everything in the VBox NAT 0 host-only adapter. That's our private network. But let's start our VirtualBox public NAT network. So we're going to create a second network. Our 10.0.3 is going to be our private network. That will help us remember that we're safe, that we're only working inside our host. This new NATed network is going to have internet access, so it's good for when we want to do updates or when we want to surf out to a website from one of our virtual machines. But we will label it with a 10.0.9 address. You just have to pick something different. I've picked 3 and 9. You can pick any combination that you like. I'm going to create a new NAT network. Disregard this one that I've already created there. So I go to my network, so VirtualBox, Preferences. Then I come to Network, NAT Networks, Network Address Translation is what the NAT stands for. Hit my plus to add a new NAT network, and I'm going to edit that network. And I'm going to call this my public NAT, and my CIDR range here is going to be 10.0.9.0/24. This is a different way of doing a network mask. Instead of 255.255.255.0, we got 10.0.9/0/24. That means the same thing. And then we're going to support the DHCP and hit OK. And we'll double check that one more time. So click here. Support DHCP on 10.0.9.0/24 as public NAT, and that network is enabled. Hit OK. And OK. And we've set this network up. Now we can test it by coming to our Kali Linux box, for example. And we can just connect it temporarily. We're going to move it from the host-only adapter to the NAT network called public NAT. Hit OK. I'll restart the machine. And all my commands are still here from before. If I do an if config, well, it's already picked up the 10.9.4 address, but remember, if it didn't, we just need to do a sudo service network -manager restart, and then an if config, and we're on the 10.0.9 network. Now the difference here is that because this is a NATed address system, I have network address translation. I can see among my machines if they're all on this network. I won't be able to see between the two networks, so this machine is now not connected to my host-only network for the other computers. But on this 10.0.9, I should have internet access. So if I ping www.google.com, I am public to the internet again. And I'll Control-C to stop that. One other way to just check our internet connectivity is to come to your browser. Depending on which version of Kali you have different browsers set up as your default here. You may have Iceweasel. It'll look like a little blue weasel face here. Or you may have the latest version of Kali Linux has Firefox ESR. Google. Very good. You can also take advantage of this connectivity to the internet to do a sudo apt-get update to update everything on your Linux box. It will take some time, and it'll take some more download space. As you can see, it's going through and picking up every package that needs to update since we set up our Kali Linux box. Because this is a relatively fresh image, and there wasn't very much that's changed in the last little bit. It didn't take forever to do that, but it will take a different amount of time depending on your internet connection speed and depending on how old or how long it's been since you set up your Kali Linux box, how many updates have been out there. But we need to connect to our public, that's our ifconfig 10.0.9.4, our public NAT, to make sure that we can do those updates and so that we can connect to the World Wide Web. Whenever we finish that, though, we're always going to come back into VirtualBox, and we're going to change our network back to the host-only adapter VBox Net 0 so that we never stay connected to the public internet with our Kali Linux box. For Windows, it's not so bad as long as we try to keep that updated. For Metasploitable 2, we don't really be connected to the public internet very often at all either. So all of those are our network setups for the new virtual ethical hacking lab environment. And we're going to be able to see from one machine into the other. All right, so we have everything set up, including 2 networks on our VirtualBox machine. Remember, we got there by coming to VirtualBox Preferences and then Network, and we set up our public NAT and a host-only network called VBox Net 0. With both of those set up, we're ready to start doing some ethical hacking. So we'll see you in the next section.